So, um, I'm gonna make another vlog on YouTube, which is in the book vlog, right? So, the idea is Pablo Neruda. Now, this guy is a badass. This is not my favorite book. I haven't read through the book, but this is the last one that I bought because the other one that I had was the other two. I think there was two of them, but the two that I've had before were really cool, smaller books. This is maybe a compilation. I don't know, but the author, the poet, Pablo Neruda. Pablo Neruda is a badass from Argentina, I think. Or where is he from? Let's see. So I'll read about him, right? This one is called I Explain a Few Things. Selected poems. Pablo Neruda, 1904 to 1973. He passed away in 73. Was born in Parral, central Chile. So he's a Chilean. His father was a railway worker, and his mother, who died when Neruda was a child, was a school teacher. He was educated at the Institute Pedagógico in Santiago and at the University of Chile. Now, as you might know, as you just heard, my Spanish ain't too great, so bear with me. Neruda is among the most widely translated poets in the world. His celebrated collections include 20 love poems and a song of despair, Residence on Earth, Canto General, Elemental Odes, 100 love sonnets, and Fully Empowered. He is also the author of 2 nonfiction works, Memoirs and Passions and Impressions. Neruda was a recipient of many honors during his lifetime, including the World Peace Prize with Paul Robeson and Pablo Picasso. Wow. In 1950. He was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1971, and he died in 73, age 69, in Santiago. Okay, so this guy writes in his native language and is translated in English, which I got to read his works and you know, as I was like kind of learning my Spanish, and I really liked his work, right? So that's pretty much as far as it goes. I like his metaphors and his. Some of the poems were kind of like, you know, like a lot of poets. I like poets, but a lot of the poets I find kind of boring, like most of modern age people do when we read old works and famous poems, because they use a lot of extra words that are unneeded. So some of his works that I read that I was like, oh, what is this? You know, his ode to like an iron, you know, ironing. And it was like, he's talking about ironing his clothes, right? Or something. Or ode to a carrot. You know, it's like, what the hell are you writing a poem? Or writing. I mean, and then as you mature, you're like, you know what, that is kind of artsy to do. So that's kind of where I'm at with his work. But the other works that I actually liked to begin with were very cosmical, right? Like more about like the moon and the sun and the stars and his metaphors are actually way cooler than I can think of, and that's why he's such a great poet to me and to a lot of other people. And but like I said, this ain't the best book that I've read of his, but it's not the worst. Or not. This is like the second book I've got of his, and then I have a third one, but yeah, I can't explain it. The first one was just so good. The first one was like amazing. So let's read Ode to Autumn. Adam. So, oh man. So this is in English because it's my Spanish might tear his work up. So let's just do the English. Ode to Autumn. Infinitesimal star, you seem forever buried in metal, hidden your diabolic fire. One day someone knocked at your tiny door. It was man. With one explosion, he unchained you. You saw the world. You came out into the daylight. You traveled through cities. Your great brilliance illuminated lives. You were a terrible fruit of electric beauty. You came to hasten the flames of summer. Y entonces llegó, armado, con anteojos de tigre y armadura, con camisa cuadrada. And then wearing a predator's eyeglasses, armor, and a checked shirt, sporting sulfuric mustaches. See, that's kind of trippy. And a prehensile tail came the warrior and seduced you, sleep. He told you curl up, Adam. You resemble a Greek god, a Parisian modiste in springtime. Lie down here on my fingernail, climb into this little box, and then the warrior puts you in his jacket, as if you were nothing but a North American pill. See, what does that mean? And he traveled through the world and dropped you on Hiroshima. We awakened. Okay, this one's pretty deep. He's actually talking some relevant stuff here. So, la Aurora se había consumido. Todos los pájaros cayeron calcinados, un olor de atividad. The dawn had been consumed, all the birds burned to ashes, an odor of coffins. Gas from tombs thundered through space. The shape of punishment arose, hideous, superhuman, bloody mushroom, dome, cloud of smoke, sword of hell, burning air arose, spreading death on parallel waves, reaching. The mother sleeping with her child, the river, fishermen, and the fish, the bakery, and the bread. The engineer and his buildings, everything was acid, dust, assassin, air. The city crumbled its last honeycombs. La ciudad desmoronó sus últimos alveolos. Cayó de pronto. Crumbled its last honeycombs and fell suddenly, demolished, rotten. Men were instant lepers. Man, this is freaking a good one. Los hombres fueron súbitos leprosos. Demolished, rotten men were instant lepers. They took their children's hand, and the little hand fell off in theirs. So from your refuge in the secret mantle of stone in which fire slept, they took you. Blinding spark, raging light to destroy lives, to threaten distant existences beneath the sea, in the air, on the sands, in every twist and turn of the ports, to destroy seeds, to kill cells, to stunt the corolla. They destined you, autumn, to level nations. Bajo el mar, en el aire, en el arenas, en el último recodo de los puertos, a orar las semillas, a enseñar los gérmenes, a perder la corola, te destinaron a tamo, a dejar arrasadas las naciones. Oh man, this is very good. To turn love into a black pustule, to burn, heap up hearts, and annihilate blood. Mad spark, go back to your shroud. Bury yourself in your mineral mantle. Be blind stone once again. Ignore the outlaws and collaborate with life and with growing things. Replace motors, elevate energy, fertilize planets. You have no secret now. Ya no tienes secreto. Camina, walk among men, entre los hombres, sin máscara, without your terrible mask. Apresurando el paso, pick up your pace and pace, extendiendo, the picking of the fruit, la pasos de los frutos, parting, separando, mountains, montañas, straightening rivers, enderezando ríos, making fertile, fecundando, atamo, autumn, desporada, overflowing, cosmic cup, copa cósmica, vuelve, return, a la paz de racimo, to the peace of the vine, a la velocidad de la alegría, to the velocity of joy, vuelve al recinto, return to the province de la naturaleza, of nature. Ponte a nuestro servicio, place yourself at our service, y en vez de las ciencias, and instead of the fatal ashes of your mask, instead of the unleashed infernos of your wrath, instead of the menace of your terrible light, deliver to us your amazing rebelliousness for our grain, your unchained magnetism to found peace among men, para fundar la paz entre los hombres, y así no será infierno. To found peace among men, your unchained magnetism to found peace among men, and then your dazzling light will be happiness, not hell. Hope of morning, gift to earth. Tu luz deslumbrada Aurora, signos felicidad, matutina esperanza, contribución terrestre. All right. That's pretty good, right? So, that is his work. I mean, that is a poet that talked about some very important things that we just read, and I think I'm gonna leave it like that, because I really don't know too much about him more than what I read, and I don't haven't read him enough to be any kind of expert, have any insight on his life or work. I probably should look that up, but you know. So, but I like his work, you know. Let's see. Most of the stuff I read were love poems. So for me, the love poems are actually beautiful. So let's see what this one is. La poesía, the poetry. At what age poetry arrived in search of me, I don't know. I don't know where. It came from winter or a river. Fue a esa edad llegó la poesía a buscarme. No sé de dónde salió. De invierno o río. No sé cómo ni cuándo. No eran bocas, no eran. Came from, I don't know where it came from winter or a river. I don't know how or when. No, they were not voices. They were not words, not silence. But from a street, it called me. From the branches of night, abruptly from the others, among raging fires. Palabras ni silencio, pero desde una calle mi amba. Desde la rama de la noche. De pronto entre los otros, entre fuegos violentos. From the street it called me, from the branches of night, abruptly for the others, among raging fires, or returning alone. There it was, without a face, and it touched me. I didn't know what to say. My mouth had no way with names. My eyes were blind. Something knocked in my soul. Never fever or forgotten wings. And I made my own way, deciphering that fire. And I wrote the first faint line, faint without substance, pure nonsense, pure wisdom of someone who knows nothing. And suddenly I saw the heavens unfastened and open, el cielo desgranado y abierto, planetas, planets, palpitating plantations, the darkness perforated and riddled with arrows, fire, and flowers, the overpowering night, the universe. And I, being tiny being, drunk with the great starry void, likeness, image of mystery, felt myself a pure part of the abyss. I willed with the stars. My heart broke loose with the wind. Yo mínimo ser ebrio del gran vacío, constelado. Okay, I'm not going to read the rest. Mi corazón se desató en el viento. So, that was pretty good too. What's cool about that one is he's actually talking about his work and how he became a poet, right? Or how he fell in love with poetry. And, great poet. Great poet because it opens up pure parts of his heart that he's trying to, make a poem about poetry and how he fell in love with poetry. And then, which I don't know if that he did that a lot, but when he wrote about the Atom, that was pretty politically, social, cultural, humanitarian kind of poem right there. And, I know he talks a lot about his country and kind of like what they do. He talks with love for his country and the people, the workers and the normal people. So I like that. But when he talks about nature is where is some of the works that I've read that were very good. So that one was pretty good, guy's good. Okay, so I think that's about it. So this is gonna finish with my vlog for the book of Pablo Neruda.